For over 10 years, I feel as if I've been on this incredible journey that I've never ever forgotten. It's always held a very special place in my heart that I had the chance to share in with all of you. And through sharing in this incredible journey with all of you, I have the chance to meet so many incredible people along the way. People that will always hold a very special place in my heart. From wherever you're watching this video or from wherever you may hear my voice this evening, I would just like to say thank you. And I would love the opportunity to honor you over the next 15 minutes and tell you this story all over again about how I became a fan of Descendants of Zombies. My family never had a whole lot of money, but I wanted to create something special for everybody. And even though I really never had the money to back this YouTube channel, I believed in it enough that I would go on to dedicate the rest of my life to uploading videos about Disney, which eventually became Descendants of Zombies, which eventually became the greatest passion that many of us have ever had the chance to experience. Because through this passion, we have the chance to share our story with more people than ever before. And we gave something extraordinarily special back to every star of Descendants of Zombies who made this franchise and these stories so special for us. Stories that we never ever forgot. Stories that will continue to resonate with us for many, many years, for what felt like forever for many people. And I know that forever is a really long time. And I know how many times you must have been told that there's no such thing as forever. But I'm here to rewrite that, and I'm here to convince you that there is such a thing as forever. All you have to do is believe in that dream of forever existing for you and happily ever after happening for whoever has a dream out there. Because no matter who you are, we all have a story, and we just want our story to be heard and seen by more people than ever before, which is the sole purpose for many of us creating YouTube channels. And while many of us may never go big or have the chance to become recognized, just having the chance to share your story with everybody presents a feeling to you. And that's what your favorite stars have always wanted to do from your favorite franchises, Descendants of Zombies, is share their story with everybody. Some people received it well, others not so much. But the fans of Descendants of Zombies, I always remembered you guys and honored you for being incredibly supportive of who you've always loved. And that's what's brought us that much closer together, because just like you, I had a favorite character from Descendants who was always Bridget, because Bridget was just so genuinely sweet. There was just something about Ruby's portrayal of that character that I could never get enough of. And there was always something about seeing the three of them together. Of course, Kylie Cantrell, Malia Baker, and of course Ruby Rose Turner, that I could never get enough of, and I found time in appreciating. I can tell you this, while many people may have different opinions when it comes to the new cast of Descendants, I would always be supportive of Kylie, Ruby, and Malia's friendship, because there was always just something that you couldn't help but be supportive of and always take something special away from. Let's say I was a writer or producer for the Descendants franchise. I would be incredibly supportive of them because I know they still have a long way to go. And it is very difficult to find your place in this world or really figure out where you're headed, because many of us don't know. We don't find out until later on in life, because life presents itself for being very unpredictable. And if many of us knew what the future had in store for many of us, I think we would be scared to find out. But you know something? Because we don't know, that's what makes the future for all of us so exciting and very unpredictable, because we don't know what lies ahead. And we are about to experience something so special when it comes to the premiere of Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland and Camp Rock 3 coming out in the same summer of 2026. This is going to be huge, because it's been over 15 years since we got a Camp Rock movie, and it's been about 2.5 years since a new chapter of Descendants has been written and presented. And I think we have a lot to be excited about when we talk about all these new characters coming into the franchise for the first time, or the sisterhood being looked at between Red and Pink as one of the many consequences of time travel. Red's created a sister, and Red and Chloe together have created a new villain who I would love the opportunity to kick the butt of. So if you guys could get in on this action and hit my subscribe button and my like button, I don't know, 50,000 times perhaps, I could become everybody's favorite action hero and perform my own stunts. And many of you will probably get a checklist saying, hey, Jonathan Clarke, would you ever fight a fire-breathing dragon? Would you take on thousands of zombies? And if you're ticking yes to these check boxes that you have on your checklist, I will be more than honored to become a part of your story and to offer something special to Descendants of Zombies. I always remember wanting to be the voice of an animated character, because I always had an appreciation for how people could sit behind a microphone, get paid to bring these characters to life. And I have this to say in response. I don't think Disney would ever have to pay me anything, because I would just love the chance to use my voice to a dedicated character to bring him to life. I always remembered wanting to be the voice of the dog, Duke, in Descendants, which eventually became Shrimpy for zombies, and then it evolved into something much greater, which eventually became everybody's favorite action hero, either a vampire slayer or a Prince Charming for Descendants. And let me tell you guys something, I would take myself up in the opportunity just as fast as you could snap your fingers. Because there's no greater feeling in the world than knowing that you've won the heart of some Descendants of Zombies fan out there who loves Descendants of Zombies with all of her heart because she watches these videos every night. I say this because I know this for certain because there are people who have been with me from the very beginning. And there's no greater feeling in the world than knowing that you've offered somebody something special to believe in and to always hold on to. I've never wanted you to let go of any of your passions, and I've always wanted you to continue to follow your dreams and your passions because your dreams often begin with passions that you've always followed. It's kind of like following the yellow brick road or falling down through a rabbit hole and along the way meeting so many colorful characters that have so many beautiful personalities like Disney princesses. I know Disney princesses have received their fair share of criticism, but you could never deny that they were beautiful characters with their stories that they share with all of us, either written or that eventually became a Disney classic, such as Cinderella, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty. There were many of them. One of my all-time favorites was always Beauty and the Beast. And I thought it was really appropriate how Ben's son was the king of Oregon, and all he ever wanted to do was open up the door more widely than ever before. He really wanted to open up the gate to offer a chance for villains to find acceptance in the world, because many of us pretty much are struggling with that every day. There are far more people out there struggling with acceptance than ever admitted to, and I think that we can show them kindness because of their struggles, because we can learn from their struggles with acceptance, and we can, better ourselves to show more kindness to people, because you never know how much profound impact you can have on a person's soul when you do show them that kindness. And those acts of kindness can pretty much come in the form of talking to somebody that you sit behind on the school bus or sit behind in class every day. And you never know how happy you can make that one person. I always was a guy who pretty much kept to himself, and, I was always sociable, but I always kept to myself. I was pretty much a loser in high school that would wear the first pair of jeans and the first cartoon t-shirt that he had in his closet and go off to school. And I was more than happy to be in the presence of girls every day who would try to talk to me. And I never realized it until later on in life when girls would try to talk to me, and I would always pay attention to what they had to say because they were just trying to show a little bit of kindness and throw it my way to let me know that everything was going to be okay, no matter what I was going through, no matter what I was dealing with. I always had that one friend that I could always depend on, and that's why friends kind of come into our lives unexpectedly, is because even the smallest acts of kindness really do go a long way. And that one friend who always calls you, who is forever annoying, will never quit on you, and they will never go away. And that's what was represented so proudly in the friendship of, say, Red and Chloe, or Mal and Evie, which first began the Descendants franchise on an incredible journey. They set off on an incredible journey that many of us never ever forgot. And what do you think got them through the journeys they were on? It was the friendships that we saw and everything they had to endure. But even with everything they had to endure based off of their friendship, the thing was their friendship outshined any criticism this franchise ever received or any trouble they may have been caught up within. Because they realized that these moments were special. These are moments they obviously created, and now we're going to see what some of the consequences of time travel will be in the upcoming installment of Descendants 5 with Wonderland, the latest installment of this franchise. And I think it's going to be one of the most beautiful ones that we've ever seen. I know Descendants has often been referred to as a Wicked or Harry Potter type musical, but the music was beautiful. Nobody could ever argue that. I know there are people out there who have forever been annoyed by the Descendants soundtrack or forever been annoyed by the characters and never really wanted to give them much of a chance, saying such things as Descendants should have never continued to be made after the original trilogy. I get that. I hear all of you. But I think with the times, we as fans have to change with the times. Do you think I always wanted to be watching Recess and DuckTales and Are You Afraid of the Dark and Goosebumps? No, I didn't. I knew that the times had to change, and I knew there would be updated versions of this either in movies or TV shows, which eventually would happen many years later. I know that there are fans out there of nostalgic moments that we've always had the chance to experience that we will never ever forget, like the original Are You Afraid of the Dark TV series that produced over nearly 100 episodes, or the original DuckTales, which was later rebooted into a high advanced CGI version. But the thing is, guys, the times have to change, and we can't really rely on the same cast to often come back to reprise their roles all the time because they want to pursue other goals and dreams they have in life. Undeniably, they were some of the strongest characters ever, but I think this new cast has done an exceptionally phenomenal job keeping this franchise alive. And you know something? No matter if we choose to admit to it or not, the new cast, or even the originals, will forever and always hold a very special place in my heart. And if I had to choose between the original cast and the new cast, I think I would choose the new cast hands down, because even though they received their fair share of criticism, You can always choose to take that away and forget about it. You can always choose to throw that out through the window, because when you give Kylie Cantrell or Freya Sky a chance, you can't help but fall head over heels in love with them and find time in appreciating who they are and how far they've come. Freya Sky, for instance, is only 16 years old, and she's going to be turning 17 in October. Well, when you think about how far she's come at just 17 years old, when I was 17 years old, I didn't really have a whole lot going my way. All I ever had was a dream of becoming a pro wrestler, and it wasn't until years later I had the chance to become involved heavily with the pro wrestling industry. But I always remembered having this one passion that would outshine every other passion that I ever wanted to follow. No matter if it was working out, no matter if it was dreams of being a pro wrestler, I always had this dream of covering Disney and being a part of the Disney franchise, which is something I've never had the opportunity to do, but I would have taken myself up on the chance to do it, hands down, just as fast as you could snap your fingers, because there was always something to appreciate about these characters you see on display in the backdrop of my videos, characters you often hear me talk about, because I've had many friends along with myself who were also passionate about Disney's characters and wanting to be artists with a Disney company, wanting to be actors, such as myself, that never had the opportunity to. There was always just a great deal of satisfaction that you would always receive from wanting to be involved with the Disney company and eventually becoming Descendants of Zombies, because if I ever had the chance to be a part of the Worlds Collide Tour, I would have took myself on the chance to be the voice of the Worlds Collide Tour, to be a singer on stage, to have the chance to dance with hundreds of zombies, because there was always something cool about participating in a zombie apocalypse, which I would love to kind of happen out of nowhere. You know, the world to be overtaken by zombies, stay at home, play video games, and think it was the coolest thing in the world. There was something so exhilarating about believing in a zombie apocalypse more than anybody. And perhaps that was the reason that led everybody to thinking this was the coolest YouTube channel they had ever watched. Whoever you are, from wherever you're watching this video, thank you so much for believing in a guy who lives near a soda plantation and a chemical plant. I know, and as crazy as that sounds, that's actually how it is. That's how I live. But how else did you expect me to bring these videos to life without ever living near a soda plantation and a chemical plant, which was kind of really cool? Honestly, I've had the most fun of my life. And even with how many fans I've already met, I know I've had my work cut out for me, because I still have thousands of people, if never millions, that I have yet to meet, either at conventions, either through the power of YouTube, because YouTube allows us to have such incredible reach and touch the hearts of so many wonderful people. But let me tell you something. Once you realize you've successfully touched the heart of a die-hard fan of Descendants of Zombies, either franchise, that's worth $1 million. And that's more than any amount of money that you could be presented with in this world, because nothing could ever replace touching the hearts of somebody who has Descendants of Zombies meaning so much to them. People who have never quit on their favorite stars, always believe in the brightest futures, have something confident to say about their favorite stars, feel stronger because of them. I would venture to say there are people who watch these videos who join sports teams, who join gyms, who lift weights now because they want to be just like their favorite stars. They want to be just like them and become an actress. They want to be just like them and become a successful singer. They want to have successful fitness regimes. And I support that, because that's what makes you a stronger person. That's what gives you something to believe in. Never quit on yourself and never quit on your dreams, because that's the one thing I've often reiterated on this show time and time again, is that we only have one life to live and only so many opportunities to make moments like this count, and chances to make possible for all of us. And if you've ever wanted to take a chance on yourself and a dream that you may have had for, let's say, forever, there's no chance in the world that you will never have that dream happen for you, because you will. All you have to do is keep on believing in yourself, because your dream will become a reality for you. And I have this to say to all of you. Perhaps you may be that much closer to your dream than you've ever realized. I'm inviting you all, if you've never subscribed to this YouTube channel or this is your first time watching, to come along with me on this incredible journey. And I promise you I will give you a reason, even more reasons than ever before, to continue on believing in this franchise, because I've held it very close to my heart. Undeniably, Descendants of Zombies has held a very special place in my heart for a very long time, reviewing our favorite characters of the past and now the present, as we make our way towards a very unpredictable future, which many of us never seem to know what the future has in store. But again, guys, whoever you are, from wherever you're watching this video, thank you so much for always having chosen this YouTube channel and having made it your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel of all time. Because the way I choose to look at this is this story is far from over, and we still have a long way to go. And there is no better way of experiencing this future or getting there than by getting there together. because I think the more nice things we have to say about your favorite stars, such as Kylie, Freya, and Malia, and even Ruby, who I miss so much being a part of this franchise, I know her contributions will never be forgotten by many fans who also held a very special place in their heart for their favorite Descendants character. Again, guys, thank you so much for having chosen this YouTube channel as your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel, because it truly means the world to me that so many wonderful people have come together and truly allowed me the opportunity to create something so special. Thank you so much for always having chosen this YouTube channel as your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel. We will pick up this conversation and resume it right from where we left it off, bright and early tomorrow morning between 8:35 and 9:05 a.m., which I know feels like forever away for many people, but we will resume this conversation bright and early tomorrow morning, which is a conversation that I always look forward to having with many people. I know that sometimes we tell the same stories over and over again, but the thing is, guys, the stories can never be heard or seen by never enough people. And I think the more people who fall in love with your story gives you a chance to achieve more recognition and to become more widely known and respected for how you felt about Descendants of Zombies, which is the chance all of you gave me for having chosen this YouTube channel as your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel. Seriously, guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart to yours, with all of my heart, for having made this your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel and for always having watched these videos.